Good afternoon and happy hump day. I'm Lauren Coleman here with Stacey Spivey and the Eric Chilton.
Oh yeah, he gets a "the" in front of his name.
Like Ohio State.
Yeah. Guys, we have made it halfway through the week. I'm so excited. And thank you guys for joining us here on the 4 to 5, right here on News 2, Fire Stick, Roku, the News 2 app for your TV, phone, or tablet. And we are also on Facebook. But we want to go ahead and get straight to some news happening right now. Crews are repairing a water main break that left businesses on Battleground Avenue in Greensboro without water for 3 hours.
WFNY News 2's Amber Lake joins us live now. Amber, water has been restored to those businesses.
That is correct. So these businesses, 7 to be exact, in this shopping mall were without water for hours. And we were just told about 30 minutes ago that they were able to use it again. But even though that water break is fixed, this area of Battleground Avenue is still closed off to traffic driving southbound towards downtown Greensboro. Now, as you can see, they are still filling this hole where the break was. Now, again, the water break has been repaired, but they're going to still fill this hole until it's able to drive through. Now, it's going to be a couple hours before this road is opened in this area, and I want to show you past this bulldozer. We have some traffic building up down Battleground Avenue. You can see the traffic is being turned down West Cornwallis Drive. And I just wanted to let you know that if you are driving in this area, be mindful of this because expect a delay whenever you're driving down Battleground Avenue. Now, crews again said that this is going to be closed for a couple more hours, but soon will hopefully reopen. And like I said, the water break did force several businesses to be without water today, and for restaurants like Outback that's in this shopping mall, they had to go without serving customers. Now, I talked with the manager of Outback who told me what they did during this time, and I'll have his reaction coming up at 5 o'clock.
Thank you, Amber. There's newfound protection against the Omicron variant in Pfizer's COVID booster shots. The company says the first 2 doses are not as strong against the variant, but the booster shot is. Lab tests showed a booster shot increased people's levels of antibodies by more than 25 times. If someone hasn't gotten the booster yet, the company said the 2 doses are still effective at preventing severe disease or death. Pfizer's findings are preliminary and still need scientific review, but they're the first from a vaccine maker. Booster shots are approved for anyone 18 and older, and if you're unsure when you can get your booster, the State Department of Health and Human Services shared this infographic reminding us if you receive Pfizer or Moderna, you can get your booster at least 6 months after getting your second dose. For anyone who received Johnson & Johnson, you can get your booster at least 2 months after being fully vaccinated. The FDA did approve mixing and matching vaccines, so it's up to you which booster you receive when you schedule your appointment.
Can you believe it's been 1 year since the first COVID-19 vaccine was given to a woman in the UK? 93-year-old Margaret Keenan said she urges everyone to get vaccinated if eligible. Margaret's vaccine on December 8th last year marked the beginning of the vaccination program worldwide. The first vaccine in the U.S. was given to a critical care nurse days later on December 11th. North Carolina's first vaccine was given nearly a week later on December 14th. We've come a long way in the distribution of vaccines, from special pop-up events and mass vaccination clinics to pharmacies being able to distribute vaccines. While pop-up clinics have been COVID-specific, pharmacies continue their normal operations on top of distributing COVID vaccines. WFNY News 2's IT Miller takes a closer look at how the vaccines have added to the workforce.
Adler Pharmacy says when kid dose vaccines became available last month, they saw a boost in business. And now with news about the Omicron variant hitting the airways, they really have their hands tied with folks wanting to get their booster shots. The owner says they're seeing about 50% more customers.
It's difficult to get pharmacy technicians to come in. The ones that I have now actually have to work more. They have to do more hours. As soon as they come into the pharmacy, they are busy all day. Filling the paperwork and getting the vaccines ready for me, and I'll go and give it to them. And it's been tedious, I would say.
Now, Adler also sells take-home COVID tests. As President Biden plans to have tests covered by insurance, this just means more customers coming in. Here are some other places you can find an Abbott take-home COVID test. Area Walgreens, CVS's, Walmart's, and Sam's Clubs all have tests in stock. Independent pharmacies like Gate City and Friendly Pharmacy here in Greensboro have tests as well.
A state committee is reviewing North Carolina's response to the pandemic and the continued state of emergency. Committee members grilled Dr. Mandy Cohen yesterday, who gave a presentation on the state's response to the pandemic. Dr. Cohen said the new Omicron variant is concerning, but does not see any lockdowns or closures in the future. Data shows the Omicron variant is more contagious, but potentially not as severe, according to Dr. Cohen. One thing Dr. Cohen noted in her presentation, states with the variant are seeing more breakthrough cases. The variant has not yet been detected in North Carolina. Lawmakers question COVID policies in schools.
Could this virus completely change and evade our vaccines, change the way it's transmitted? Sure. I don't want to sit here and say never, never, but I don't see that in our future.
Now, the percentage of coronavirus tests coming back positive is continuing on an upward trend. You can see that right there. The latest number from the state is 8%. It's on par with number from the past 10 days, but well above the state's goal line, which is this red line right here. That is 5%. Over the past week, just one day has dipped below the red line, but it was barely under it. You can see that there. Prior to that, more days were under 5% than over it. By looking at our current trend, we're far from that now.
While lawmakers pressed Dr. Cohen on COVID policies in schools, the Union County Board of Education passed a resolution to demand state leaders end certain COVID protocols in public schools. The joint resolution urges state leaders to end contact tracing and quarantine protocols by COVID-19 by January 19th of 2022. Students who currently have to quarantine are asked to stay isolated and follow instructions given by their school. In September, Union County schools reached an agreement with the county health leaders to share the responsibility of contact tracing. A Charlotte woman was one of nearly 900 employees recently fired over a Zoom call. Better.com company CEO Vishal Garg called an emergency meeting with the employees on the first of the month. Misty Morin was part of that call. It was her first day back to work from family leave. Instead, Misty and hundreds of her coworkers learned they no longer had jobs. Morin said she had no idea the firing was going to happen, and it took about 3 minutes from start to end.
Well, we're all left gutted and just heartbroken before the holidays. That the fact that he made it about himself multiple times throughout the call, he just made it about himself.
Better.com recently opened an office in Charlotte, hiring more than 100 employees in its first year. On Tuesday, Garg sent a message to employees and the public apologizing for the way he handled the layoffs. The city of Charlotte is collecting resources for local employees who lost their jobs. I'm sure he is responding after all the backlash he probably received yesterday once that video went viral.
I just can't imagine being on a Zoom call and, oh, by the way, all of you in this department, you're no longer employed.
Yeah, I just don't think it's okay at all. I'm glad that the city of Charlotte is saying, hey, we need to help these employees that were affected by it, but I just don't think he went about it the right way at all. I think, yes, that is a lot of employees to sit down one-on-one and let them go, but I think that you deserve to give them some or show them some respect. They were your employee.
It was just really insensitive how we talked about yesterday. He was far away from the camera. He did make it about himself, like, this is my second time I've had to do this. Last time I cried. I'm gonna try not to. There was no mention of, you know, we value your work, but we're sorry, you know, this is the direction we're heading in. It was just not in good taste.
That's worse than just an email. I mean, even I think in normal circumstances, people are like, oh, you got an email, like that's kind of a cold way to do it. But that would be better than what he did, and just do it with a big group and go, you're all, you know, no longer employed. I just can't imagine.
I bet next time he'll do things very differently.
We would hope so. You can let us know what you think on Facebook right now. But let's go ahead and get to your 4 to 5 roundup. The North Carolina Department of Forestry has lifted its burn ban for 67 counties in our state. The burn ban was put in place after multiple wildfires broke out in our state, including Pilot Mountain. In our area, the ban is lifted for the southern region of Randolph County and east of Alamance County, but the ban is still in place for Guilford and Forsyth counties. Forest officials are hoping to revisit that decision with the chance of rain in the forecast. The head of Instagram is testifying on Capitol Hill about social media's impact on teens. Now, this is the first time that he's testified before Congress. He's expected to highlight new tools recently released, including the Take a Break tool, which we talked about right here on the 4 to 5 yesterday. It encourages young users to log off for a brief period of time. Parents will also have access to parental controls. The hearing comes months after a Facebook whistleblower surrendered internal documents suggesting the company was aware Instagram may cause depression and anxiety, especially for teenage girls. Yet another get for North Carolina. Kroger announced it will build a high-tech customer fulfillment center in Cabarrus County. The fulfillment center will create nearly 700 jobs over 5 years in Concord. Kroger Company also operates Harris Teeter, Ralph's, and Fred Meyer.
Now looking at our forecast, we're all over the place again. It's just been a temperature roller coaster, hasn't it, over the last week or so? That continues for a while. Next week, though, we start to look a little more consistent and some of the temperatures a little more seasonal, too. We'll get to that in a minute. 50 degrees in Greensboro right now. Burlington and Reidsville all chime in with 50. 51 for Winston-Salem, 49 Walnut Cove, 52 in Mount Airy. Wilkesboro at 54, and in the higher elevations, they're in the low 40s right now. How about a cold night? Clear and cold, 29, the overnight low. Thank goodness winds aren't that bad. Tomorrow, partly sunny, still chilly at 48. We should be in the low to mid 50s this time of the year, so a little bit on the cool side. That 48 is more akin to what we'd see in January than right now. Satellite and radar combination pretty clear across the area. There goes that frontal boundary. Most of the rain was isolated in the southern Piedmont and southeastern parts of our viewing area as that system moved by and it sort of developed from the south moving up. We'll say goodbye to that. High pressure keeps us rather chilly as we head into the next 24 hours, and that high will shift on to the east and we'll see a warm up by Saturday. But tonight, clear and cold. There's that 29-degree low again tomorrow at 48. Your long-range forecast, 7-day outlook, chilly 48 tomorrow, 57, a little drizzle Friday, late-day showers on Saturday, but not before seeing a warm high of 70. Then sunny on Sunday and breezy 53. We're back in the 50s for Monday and Tuesday. Well, you could call it a scavenger hunt with a twist. Venture into the village of Clemens, and you better have your smartphone ready for the ultimate challenge. They call it Selfie with an ELFIE. I spoke with event planner and marketing director for Clemens about their holiday scavenger hunt.
The
guys, thanks for being with us this morning. All right, so let's get started. How did this concept come about?
I'm going to have to give credit to Lynette for the concept of this. And she came up, she loves Buddy the Elf, and was trying to find a way to just spread joy and the little Christmas spirit throughout our small community. So she came up with this idea, and we kind of embraced it. Our businesses have embraced it. We have a wonderful business community. It's a way to get people in the door of some place that maybe they've never been.
So how does it work? Because I was reading this online. Oh, look. Buddy's there.
How do you not love that when you see that?
Seriously. How does it work? How do we participate?
Well, you just go around town and you go to our local businesses and you'll see your elf head randomly on many of them.
We do have a worksheet, so there's a corresponding letter along with each buddy head, and it spells out a secret message. And once you get that secret message, you can bring that to Village Hall or to the Jerry Long Y, and we're going to have a drawing for a fantastic prize basket.
So people are posting on social media, correct? And with this, hopefully along the way, what are you hearing from people about the contest?
I think it's doing exactly what we hoped it would do, and that's spreading joy. And in the words of Buddy the Elf, that smiling is our favorite. There's nothing like that. And how can you not smile with a selfie with this Elfie?
That is awesome. I'm sure you guys are going to be successful with this. Good luck with the campaign. It's pretty cool. That's right. The selfie with. So they encourage you to post it on Facebook or Instagram. You don't have to, but going around trying to find all those, work out the puzzle, and then win the prize. And they said, I thought that the gift bag, or that you can win the grand prize, was a bunch of stuff from the movie Elf. It's some of that, but it's also gift cards to businesses all across the Clemens area.
And 50 plus locations.
Yeah,
that's not anything you could just knock out in a day.
You got to plan your shopping accordingly.
Yeah, no, that'd be fun for a family or even just like a group of friends to get together and do this.
See how many you can come up with, how many you can find. It's an interesting marketing tool, and I think if you think about it, what they've done is made shopping more fun. And you have to, in order to win, you've got to go to all those places, and they're supporting local businesses. So it's a good idea.
Yeah, I like this. We're going to see a lot of people around town with their phones out.
And I just love that they chose Buddy the Elf from the movie Elf.
Because that's your favorite movie.
It's my favorite Christmas movie. I mean, you can't you have to love that face.
You do, and their slogan is, what's the smiling that he says?
Smiling's my favorite?
Yeah, smiling is my favorite. That's their line for this campaign there.
Nice,
anyway.
very cool.
All right, check it out. We're coming back. Stay there.
Y'all smile.
How adorable is that face? I mean, just look at it, it's so cute. And you would not think that this face would harm you, right? Well, a new study suggests otherwise. Researchers believe a majority of cats fall under the spectrum of being a psycho, okay? They surveyed more than 500 pet owners asking questions like, my cat vocalizes loudly for no reason or runs around the house for no reason. Cats appear to be bold, mean, and equally unfriendly to both humans and pets alike. Researchers add, cats may fall into this category just because of their wild nature. So I just don't really hang around cats often because I'm so allergic, but I believe that this is true. They just stare and they do weird things
they
at
lurk
night.
and they watch you. You like turn around and you're like, where did you come?
Creeping.
They're too quiet for me. I need to know that you're coming.
So I have, well, all of us have a lot of friends here too that have cats, and I've just never been a big cat person. It's not that I can't stand them. I just, again, I want a loving, cuddly animal. That's why I was a dog guy growing up. You know, we never had cats, so I can't say it, but they are sneaky, and you don't know when they're going to strike.
Yeah, and they love climbing on everything. One of my friends has a cat, and she was just showing off when we were over there. She was just climbing on the couch. She was trying to get on the counter. It was just a lot.
Well, you see those videos all the time that go viral of the cat just staring at you, and then they go like this and knock something off the shelf, and you're like, what the heck?
It looks like they're just saying, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah, like it's a little bit of that psycho in them, I guess. According to this study.
Yeah.
I don't like the fact that I don't want an animal who's walking in a litter box to jump up on my counters, because all I can think of is the chemicals and the other stuff on where I eat, you know.
But they are cute animals.
Oh, kittens
those pictures were adorable.
Fluffy. Some of them.
Yeah. Some of them a little scary. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just depends. Those hairless cats, those are the ones. Crazy looking things.
So bad.
I know, because there's so many cat lovers out there.
I know. Bless their hearts. All right, we'll be right back.
This Christmas, instead of leaving Santa milk for his cookies, try pairing them with a bottle of wine. Oreo is teaming up with Barefoot Wine for a limited release this week. The red wine features notes of chocolate, cookie and cream flavors. Yum. It will be available for about $25 a bottle and comes with a package of Oreo thin cookies. Now that sounds tasty.
Now you have my attention. All right, it is National Brownie Day. That's one of my favorite sweet treats, but it seems there are countless ways to make them. So I asked you on Facebook, what's your favorite way to make brownies or the ingredients in the brownies? Brittany Walls says with caramel and walnuts. I agree, that is right down my alley. Patricia says hot fudge brownies. Carolyn says, since I'm not a big fan of chocolate, I don't usually like them, but I do like those vanilla ones, though. I think those are the blondies. Beth says, with caramel right in the center. I'm not sure I've had that. Scott says, I would say it, but it's still illegal here in North Carolina. You figure that one out yourself. And Sarah said, brownie bites, the little ones. Scott went out on a limb. Just let it all out. Just let it all out right there. I would say I like nuts in there and then the caramel too, that kind of, but the blondies are my favorites.
Have you ever had the cheesecake brownies? You can buy them to make for in the bowl at home.
Oh, I don't think I've
You like put cheesecake glaze on top.
That sounds good.
So good.
I like the fudge brownies. I'm not the biggest brownie person though. I'd much rather have like cookies or ice cream. But if I have brownies, I like the fudge brownies with ice cream.
With vanilla ice cream,
yes.
Right? Yes, me too. I like ice cream on everything, but I always do ice cream on cake. Did you ever do that as a kid? Like put the ice cream on the cake? We did that a lot.
Yeah, I like cake ice cream.
I do too. I like that too.
I just like all sweets really. I don't think there's a sweet that I've met that I didn't like.
Did you hear what I said today? I was talking about now that I've started doing this workout routine that my wife made me do.
Oh, you're craving sweets more.
And I'm not a sweets person usually.
Do you think it's because your body is saying you need some sweets?
I don't know. I don't know what it is, but all of a sudden it's like for the first time I'll go home and look for ice cream or a cookie, which I usually do not do that. I'm not eating as, I'm not indulging, but I have a desire for it more. I have no idea.
I don't know about y'all. After dinner, I'm always craving something sweet. Every night.
Every dinner.
It's
not
nice
lunch?
to have something small afterwards.
No, just
dinner?
A dinner.
That's interesting. We need a doctor to give us an email and tell us what's going on here. We don't know. All right, we'll be back in 2 minutes.
afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Stacey Spivey with Eric Chilton and Lauren Coleman.
Yep, welcome to everybody watching us right here on News 2, but also Fire Stick, Roku, and our app, which is for your TV, phone, or tablet. Lots of different ways to check us out.
Yeah, lots to talk about today, so let's get into your 4 to 5 roundup. Water has been restored to several businesses on Battleground Avenue in Greensboro as crews work to repair a water main break. The outage has shut down southbound lanes at the 1900 block of Battleground from West Cornwallis Street to Westover Terrace. The road closures are expected to last until 10. Danville City Council said they are still waiting for bids for a general contractor on the Caesars Virginia Casino project. Requests were issued last week and bids are due early January, according to Senior Vice President of Development Robert Livingston. Caesars Entertainment hopes to have a contractor selected by the end of the month. Currently, the casino site at the former Dan River Mills Industrial Complex is going through demolition. The $500 million resort is expected to open in 2023. A man convicted of killing his wife and unborn child has been resentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Scott Peterson was tried and convicted for the murder of Lacey Peterson back in 2004. Peterson's death sentence was overturned by the California Supreme Court because the death penalty carries a set of rules that need to be followed, and the judge failed to do so. This is according to Supreme Court of California. Peterson has a hearing next year as his attorney tries to get his guilty verdict overturned. The Robert E. Lee statue in Charlottesville, Virginia is getting a new purpose. The statue was given to the Jefferson School African American Heritage Center and will be melted down in order to build a new work of art. The statue at the center of violent protests in Charlottesville. The melting of the statue is part of the Swords into Plowshares plan to create public art out of melted down metal. Now, I think that this is a great idea. As we know, there was a lot of chaos a couple of years ago when that protest happened over this statue. So I think this is a way to just create a new vision and what that city wants the world to see their city as.
I think that this idea, because making something new out of something, you know, that's a great thing to do. And I can see other cities that have that same dilemma doing the exact same thing. I mean, why let that metal go to waste? You know?
Yeah, because I think a big part of the conversation, some people were worried about what was going to happen to the statues, where they're going to go, while others just thought it needed to be completely eliminated. So I feel like this is kind of a good meeting ground for both sides of it. But I mean, that's just my personal opinion with it.
I think you're right, because a lot, like you said, there were arguments and talk of is somebody going to take these and display them somewhere else, or are they going to be, you know, and I think this kind of solves all of that.
Create something new.
Yeah, brand new. Do creativity. All right, let's talk about some tech stuff here. So you might have heard this a lot recently. My Alexa conked out. I couldn't get to Netflix. Yeah, you heard that yesterday morning, maybe, and wondered what is going on. So I did a little research to find out what the problem was. Take a look. Now, you may have noticed yesterday morning around 11 a.m., some of your apps or streaming services, anything to do with the web, it just stopped. Well, that is horrible. Nobody likes that. Turns out it was Amazon, or more specifically, AWS, Amazon Web Services. That is cloud computing technology. Remember, these days, everything's on the cloud. And lots of companies use AWS, so it affected all of them. How about Ring security cameras and doorbells, Disney Plus, Netflix, Tinder, Roku, Cash App, Venmo, that's just to name a few. In fact, I read that 20% of Netflix was affected. They're not quite sure what happened, but they got most of it resolved. Hey, it even affected the Amazon delivery drivers. The tech they used to log packages wouldn't work anymore either. They were told to go home for the day. Unfortunately for us, it affected servers that affect parts of the East Coast where we live, but most of it is back up and running now. We're good. It just goes to show you how dependent we are on the cloud. Oh, not you.
I love the smile at the end of that. Well, we asked you on Facebook, and some of you were actually impacted by these outages. Tim says, okay, that explains my difficulty with Prime Video. David figured when my device wouldn't play music from my Amazon Music. Rick says it's what happens when one company runs pretty much everything. They really need to work on their redundancy issues. Too many AWS issues lately. Now, Joni says, I knew something was up with Amazon. It wouldn't load anything and would freeze up. Ivy writes, warehouses are at a stop. Mania writes, it took out educational sites too. And then Neil says our company relies on something like this. They were down yesterday and our truck systems weren't getting upgrades. I wonder if OmniTrax is built on AWS. And then Ashley says that they better not take her Prime payment out this month.
I think a lot of people probably agree with that last one.
So she said educational sites. So Canvas, we've heard a lot about that because during the pandemic, a lot of educational systems, including Guilford County Schools, used Canvas to
Is that
teach
like
remotely.
Blackboard?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, they can log in that way, get their assignments, and that shut down too. So
wow.
One of the biggest, I saw an interview with a college student who said, I couldn't get to my assignments, I couldn't get to my homework, so surely I'm not going to be penalized because I had no access, and I'm sure she won't. But that shut down. I mean, it was Roku, Cash App, Venmo, McDonald's.
Yeah.
There were lots of issues, and even the Amazon drivers themselves, as you heard.
Yeah, one of the people who commented said when you own all those different companies, when something like this happens.
So cloud technology is everywhere, right? Everything we do is in the cloud. Nobody wants to hold it on a server somewhere because that costs money. So AWS has massive servers that can hold all. So all these companies use AWS, and that guy, the one that commented and said redundancy, that is a problem. When you have one company that controls so much of the cloud space, that's what happens, you know?
It's scary to think about what could potentially happen if like a hack or like a cyber hack, you know?
Or if someone got in there, if a hacker got in and said, you know what, I'm gonna hold Netflix until you pay me, and then you can't, like, can you imagine?
I mean, I did a story about that. They're not concerned about, this guy that I spoke with who's a cybersecurity expert, he said, we're not concerned about nuclear war, we're concerned about cyber war.
Yeah, it affects more people quick. I mean, you can shut down. I got hacked not too long ago, my email account, and they went in immediately and bought 2 computers at Best Buy in Minnesota. This happened to me like 3 weeks ago.
I remember this.
Remember I told you that? And thank goodness, my bank called me immediately, said this is suspicious. I said, that is not me. So, and like that, I got 55 emails from different subscriptions that they had signed me up for. They weren't money subscriptions, but they were probably doing that to get points for something, and you sign up.
Were you able to get your money back?
Yeah,
okay.
I did. It was actually great. Both Best Buy and the bank both offered, so we got it taken care of.
Well, a weekend without Netflix would not be fun.
Seriously. I might let you buy that laptop. You let me keep my Netflix.
Yes.
And Disney Plus.
All right, let's talk about a forecast, shall we do that? We're looking at temperatures across the area. Not all that bad, really. I mean, when you look at this, 50 degrees in Greensboro and 47 in Raleigh, Fayetteville at 47. Not all that uncomfortable, a little cool for this time of the year. We should be in the mid-50s, around 53 or 54. Boone's at 41 and Asheville 49. So you're hour by hour heading into the night. We're looking at temperatures going into the 30s pretty quickly. By 9 p.m., we could see a 39-degree reading. We're all clear overnight, and some upper 20s expected by the time you head out for the office tomorrow morning. That's probably a 28 or 29-degree reading at that point. Yeah, that's a cold situation. Front moves off the coast. So again, we're fairly clear for tomorrow. A little chilly there on the Futurecast. You can see that high pressure kind of controlling our winds, but it'll do just the opposite. Once that moves by, we'll see winds shift a little bit, and then we get warmer. So look for maybe Saturday, I think, is probably our warmest day of the week at 70 degrees. Hard to believe we're at 48 tomorrow. 57 Friday, then 70 on Saturday. A drizzle, maybe a little sprinkle here or there for your Friday. That really shouldn't amount to a whole lot. And then Saturdays, unfortunately, that's our best chance of rain. That is a 60% chance with that high temperature of 70. Cooler, back to normal though, low to mid 50s for Sunday, Monday, upper 50s, low 60s, lots of sun for Tuesday and Wednesday. Lows will be cold next week though, in the low 30s.
We have breaking news. Deputies say they found a gun at Western Alamance High School after the school went on lockdown just before dismissal. Officials say they received a tip about a possible gun on campus. After a thorough search and investigation, officials say they found and confiscated the gun from a student. They believe there was not a threat to the school or students. We'll keep you updated on this developing story.
And now switching gears, today on YOUDAY, Coach Lamont explains why allowing the power of change to impact your life can be the most substantial benefit to your life.
Change is not change, my friend, until you change. And that change only happens when you purpose in your heart that a change is needed. There's an old spiritual principle that says you can't put new wine in an old wineskin. Now what that means is Something new was never intended to be placed in something old. So why are you trying to place an old version of you into a new version of who you are expected to become? You are not the same person you once were. Change has happened whether you accept it or not, and the revelation in many cases is you didn't control the change that happened. It just happened. Now's the time to control your change. You know the things about you that you dislike, so do something about it. This is Coach Lamont. Make today your best you day. I'll see you tomorrow.
Well, you know what they say, you can't get different results by doing the same thing over and over again. So change is good if you're looking to grow into a better person.
I heard an older lady once said that, you know, if we all sang the same note, there'd be no harmony.
Yeah.
And I just think that's a great,
like
she said that in the choir, in the church choir.
Flatline.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, change is good. Obviously, it's very uncomfortable sometimes, but how do you grow? Like Lauren said, if you don't challenge yourself and change something.
I think this is a good time to even talk about change. We're about to head into a new year. So if there's anything you want to accomplish or try out, now's the time to start thinking about those things.
I have to tell you, Coach Lamont has good words every day, right? But I get obsessed. That man dresses to a T. I asked Lauren, I was like, what is he wearing?
Like
what's
nice
his
little pin.
lapel
I
thing
liked
going on?
it. He's a smooth brother, because you
Stylish.
interviewed him.
I did.
Yeah.
We were out in the weather garden, and I looked at him. He's so put together. It makes me, I was over here like, oh no, I gotta, you know, get things situated
Had
here.
his shades
Yes,
on.
he did. Shades
I love
on.
his sweaters too. He always looks nice.
I thought you were about to say I love his swagger.
He
I mean, he does
swagger.
have swagger too. That's for sure.
It's so funny. The Coach Lamont on TV, you know, is super genuine, and he is in person too. But he's got swagger in person. You know, I think he brings that down a little bit for TV, so you can relate to him. But get him off TV, and that guy's got to walk.
Yeah, we love us some Coach Lamont here on
He's
the 4 to
nice.
5. We'll be right back after this break. Come join us on Facebook. Chat with us.
Well, it's Christmas card season, and I love seeing all the photos of family and friends. And we actually just got some photos done for this a couple of weeks ago. I have to show Baylor when I can, right? Well, this got me thinking, when was the last time that you had professional photos taken of you or your family?
We took some professional headshots about 3 years ago.
So we can see this.
We usually get them done every 5 years or so as a family, so we took some about 3 years ago, and then I had some personal headshots done last year.
Professional, like
professional,
with a photographer?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
We haven't done that in years.
Really?
And because we just literally get one of our neighbors, because I mean cell phones take pretty good pictures, so they'll take the picture with a decent phone and then I'll do some filters and doctor it up a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of people are doing that these days.
Yeah, I hadn't really had anything done professionally in a while until obviously I had Baylor, and now I want to get them done all the time. But I asked the same question on my Instagram, and here's what some of you said. WFMY's Jenna Krasina says this past spring, Kara's baby actually had 1-year photos done yesterday. Chandler says she and her boyfriend Nick got some done last April. It was 20 years ago for Linda. Audra did in August. Riley did in November. And Jill writes, when my son was born 4 years ago. And then Kimmy said she got hers done 4 months ago for her engagement photos. Now, most people that responded said that they had gotten photos done in the last year. Photographers are calling it the photography boom between booking for weddings and family sessions. Randolph County photographer Samantha Brooks says it's been a wild couple of years. Even though she stayed busy in 2020 with elopements and small backyard weddings, this year she's doubled the number of weddings. Plus, she's almost fully booked for 2022 with only 3 spots open.
So the wedding boom is essentially everyone pressed pause on planning in 2020 and then they all hit play at once. It's a good time to be in the wedding industry.
But she's also seen a huge increase in family and newborn sessions this year.
I think with the social media craze that we have for our generation, people just want professional photos to post because I can see what is downloaded, and usually it's the web page size photos that are downloaded, not the print size. So I know they're only posting, they're not printing.
And she says if you're interested in photography, now is the time to try it out. But I thought that that was so interesting what she says, that people, it's true in my life too. I want to get professional photos done so I can post on social media. And she also said that 80% of her business comes from Instagram.
Wow.
People finding her on there.
They could probably tag her in the post, and then they're like, that's a great photo, let me go check her out.
Yeah, she has 43,000 followers now.
Wow.
Oh
Okay, I need to get her contact information.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Yeah, these pictures are beautiful.
I was rethinking this. The last time we did have a photography session was when Tyler was a newborn, so that was 11 years ago. So yeah, that's the last time we did it. But I think that I like them because I like to create a gallery wall at home with kids' pictures from all over. So
yeah, I like the printouts as well. Just so you can frame them, you can send them to family and relatives. It's nice to have it online too, but it just says something different when you go home and see those pictures, you know, in person.
Yeah, and I mean, it's so special to look at those photos years down the road. Like I am very appreciative of the photo albums that my parents have, and I needed to be better about printing photos out.
I tell you, it's very important once you have little ones to keep those pictures for years and years.
Yeah,
very cool.
They're all on our phones.
All right, more stuff coming up in just a few minutes. We'll take a short break.
I'm done. Mic check, Jalen.
The Dudley Panthers are just one win away from bringing their 7th football state championship back to Greensboro.
So exciting. WFMY News 2's Jalen Gilkey caught up with Coach Davis and some of his guys before their trip up to Chapel Hill this Friday. Jalen?
Yes, Stacey, it's been 5 years since the Dudley Panthers were last state champions in football, but if you ask head coach Stephen Davis, it's been 5 years too long. This Friday, Dudley, the Panthers, they'll play J.H. Rose from Greenville. And here we go. Here comes the story.
It feels great. It feels great to get back to this point. You know, we've been here a couple of times since I had the job, but the journey's been tough. And it's been tough because, you know, we played in the spring as well. So these kids who returned this year has played a whole lot of football. And, you know, that's taxing on your body.
For Dudley head football coach Stephen Davis, winning state championships is nothing new. Since he took over the program in 2004, he's led the Panthers to 4 state championships. However, none of his current players know what that feels like.
The feeling of knowing I'm going to state this last game, just watching the last seconds tick down, it was a very emotional moment.
Dudley will face J.H. Rose this year for the 3A state title up at UNC Chapel Hill. Win or lose, Coach Davis wants the boys to walk away with a very important lesson.
Hard work brings good things. You know, if you want something in life, go out and get it. Go out and work for it. You know, don't take the cheap way out. You know, don't take the easy road. Work hard, good things will happen for you.
But how are the boys feeling?
I'm feeling really excited. Just glad to finally be at this point in the season. I already knew we was going to make it this season, just from all the players and everybody and the coaches.
And the team, they have a special message for the Dudley community.
Watch out for them D-boys.
So the D-boys, they're ready. So let's do our part as a community and bring a huge crowd out to support. Dudley will face J.H. Rose out in Greenville for the 3A state championship. This game is Friday, 7 p.m. at Keenan Stadium.
I'm so excited for them.
That's also, can you imagine, because as a high school kid to play in Keenan Stadium, that's a big deal just in and of itself. That adds to the excitement and it gets them all pumped up.
Yeah, something they're definitely never going to forget.
Yeah, I was just about to say. So my dad actually won a state championship title when he was in high school for his team.
Check him out.
Yeah, I mean, the only high school team from my school to win a state championship.
Oh, he's a
legend
legend then.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, it's still such a huge deal for him. So, you know, if they win, this is a lifelong thing that they're going to tell their kids and grandkids
Well,
about.
and in Arkansas, that's a huge deal too, isn't it, state? That's a football state.
A state title is a big deal in any state.
Yeah, well, and my dad, it's funny because growing up, I was always Rick Spivey's daughter.
Oh, okay.
So everyone just knew me as that.
Does he have the ring? Does he still wear it?
So long story short, sadly, someone stole it.
No.
I know. I need to get him a new one made.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, good luck to the D-boys, right?
Yeah, best of luck.
WFMY News 2's 57th annual holiday blood drive is less than a week away. It's on December 14th, that Tuesday, from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. at Piedmont Hall, which is in the Greensboro Coliseum complex. Don't wait in line. Make an appointment. There are appointments every 15 minutes from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. You can do it right on your phone. We have a link for you in the Two Wants to Know section. Walk-ins will also be accepted the day of the drive.
This is Miriam Lown, the deployed residency counselor on USS Essex. Just wanted to wish my family a Merry Christmas. My parents, Angie, my sisters, I love you and miss you so much.
cool. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody.
Florida Gators.
Oh.
Hi there, Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Arkansas.
Hi, Callie. What a fun day today. Very, very busy. Yes.
Ten 9 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1.
Hi.
Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3.
Mic check 1 2 3 3 2 1. Even though this area is, or the water is restricted.
One year ago today, the UK became the first country in the world to roll out an approved COVID-19 vaccine. It was a major step in the fight to stop the virus. The world watched in awe as 90-year-old grandmother Margaret Keenan got her first dose of the vaccine. And just a week later, the first vaccine in the United States was given to a critical care nurse. I remember feeling hopeful and a bit anxious. For months, I was unable to see my grandparents or gather in large groups with friends. School doors remained closed and many of us were afraid to leave our homes. There was finally some light at the end of the tunnel. Fast forward to today, much progress has been made. Roughly 60% of the U.S. population is fully vaccinated and 55% in North Carolina. And scientists are discovering more and more about the virus every day. But even with these advances, we still have a long road